hate what?
Oh, let me send it.
Do.
Oh, this is interesting. You create spectral equipment when you summon or animate the dead.
So I just figured out nice. I just figured out my V2
Fireball,
shit.
Nate?
Later.
It's here.
It is.
What'd you say, Zach?
Said I just figured out that my V2 is shitty, and the problem with you know how I said it tastes
Mix
burnt?
that shit with Coke. See what happens.
What was that, Zach?
You know how I said it tastes burnt?
Yes.
That's actually a defect.
I mean, it's there. You got
Oh,
the Coke,
okay.
you got the ice. I will not be joining you in that endeavor.
Maybe. Anyway. Alright, we're all here. We're all ready. Let's begin.
So I sent you it. It looks really nice.
Yeah, we healed, we made words.
We found out who the last chest was for, and I think
Yep.
we're spraying each other with colors, and I think we're about to go.
I said,
We will be heading out.
Alright. You guys would be leaving Merlin's tower then?
Yep, that would be the plan. So we'd come out, we'd take our little key, and then we'd go back in the way we just... It's weird magic. You know what we're doing.
Yep. Okay. Well, as you guys make your way out of the tower, you would be in that corridor.
Alright. I look to everyone. And ask, is there any more business that anyone needs to tend to in Camelot?
my head.
Nope.
Shake my head.
Just nod. Say we'll head back. Going to bring Rowan here. And we'll figure out what we're doing from there. Once we get back to the settlement. I would begin walking out of the zone that I shouldn't be able to teleport into.
The castle.
Yeah, so beyond the castle gates.
Okay. Well, as you would, as you guys would then go, presume, all of you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You'd begin making your way out. And you'd see some soldiers milling about. You'd see a lot more well-dressed noblemen wandering about the castle as well. Seems they arrived either today or the previous day while you guys were in Merlin's tower. And you can see a great deal more decorations are up in preparation for the coronation.
Oh, question. We got into the door to Merlin's demi-plane. Does that seal itself in the same way it had before when we leave, or does it need to be resealed?
When you'd close it, it would still be connected to the last place that it was, but all the enchantments for, like, if you're not one of the peeps allowed, get fucked, that's all still there.
Yeah. If I would know how to connect it back to the normal room, I would do that. But if not, oh well.
Yep, it could be done with that key.
Okay, connected back to the normal room in the tower.
Okay. Well, as I said, you'd see servants moving about, doing their things. As various noblemen are kind of all grouped together talking in the days preceding the coronation. People who nobles who generally may not actually interact at all are kind of like, oh hey, you're here. Words can be made because we're both out of place, at the same time.
Let's talk.
But Yeah, with that, be able to make your way out of the castle. And you can see the same preparations being kind of set up around the city itself, but something feels quite off.
Do we have any sense of what is off, or just something?
Sense motive.
I am detecting the evil.
Okay.
Just looking around.
I'll throw out a sense. I just gotta remember what it is.
Let's all do it.
Okay.
Paladin.
You would,
Damn, Zach.
I know, right? I'm proud of
I
that.
really want to know what's going on.
well, Joe, for your detect evil, you don't detect anything out of the ordinary. You do see a guy just kind of leaning against a barrel with a bottle of some kind of alcohol, and he's got a faint evil aura around him.
There's a bomb!
You have to kill him now. He's a terrorist.
But as far as, let's see, Stefanos and Zach, you guys are able to kind of glean that, like, as there's various citizens kind of helping set up the decorations and soldiers moving about, you see some, while there isn't immediately the same kind of air of distrust that there had been, now it has sort of shifted into a kind of a toxic undercurrent in the city, as there are some people who are kind of like, they're helping put up the decorations beside the guards, but then at the same time, you can see other people like shooting, hateful glances at this person or that person or this guard or that guard.
I can't really blame him for it.
He's gonna look around and just kind of vocalize, saying, "Can't really blame them for what's happened."
Yeah. I mean, they're not under compulsion. That's actually how they feel. So, what are you gonna do about that?
It's not like they forget what happened,
Yeah.
or that they knew they were under some sort of spell.
Well, I think they know now, but the guard was still hanging people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, I will, I'll say to Atarka, get your elemental out and get us back to the settlement. And he will do as such.
Okay. Well, as you guys would, now he has to take trips, right? Like this group, that group.
Yeah.
3 trips.
Yep, 3 trips, and I would be in the last one, the Beldroth.
Okay. Who would be in the first trip?
Hold on, Joe. Are you just going back to get the one guy?
Oh, well, I have not vocalized exactly what I want to do. So that's why I asked if anyone has any business they need to tend to.
No, I'm just
here.
saying, like, if you're going to get the one guy, why don't you just go get him and bring him here? We don't have to all go back and then all come back again. Unless you're doing that personally.
Who's the one guy?
Rowan.
Oh, didn't he leave?
No.
Okay.
No, not yet. Because Joe was like, we can teleport you to a place and make it quicker, so stay at the settlement for a while. So, he's still at the settlement.
Well, we'll do that. Go get Rowan.
Okay. Well, as...
So Atarka will go back and acquire them.
Yep. And, well, as Atarka would do so, he would be met by a slightly off scene,
Oh,
as he would. Or actually, first off, where is he teleporting to precisely?
to the whatchamadoodle.
Castle?
Yeah, the castle. Precisely, probably the study, because that's the place that's
Okay.
where we gather.
Well, He would act. Okay, then you would see it. You would see, in the study, you would see Ilya sitting on the bed, with Rowan standing beside her, his blade out and slick with blood. On the floor lie 5 corpses.
Damn,
Hey, Joe, you should get out of there and come back.
She has a slight cut on her forearm that has been bandaged. And he likewise has a few cuts.
I'll be back. With the elemental. Get me back, get the others. It'll do as such. And, oh look, a Tarka! That was a quick trip. I'm gonna say, might happen in the study. We need to get there.
Who are you taking first, then?
And let's diversify. Tarka, Beldroth, Catman, and Zackman.
Heyo.
Okay. Well, as you guys would then teleport back into the study, you would see Rowan at this point cleaning off his blade.
Do I recognize any of the people that are on the ground?
No, but you do notice that they are,
They're all black.
They're dressed as peasantry, but you can make out the armor beneath their clothes. They all appear to have leather or studded armor.
Well,
I would walk up to them, or to the corpses, look at them a little closer, and say, "Were there assassins here too?"
Something like that.
No. Well, he would nod, kind of looking to you as he would say that he was speaking with one of the servant girls in the corridor out, one of the corridor out on the floor below, when he heard Ilya scream. He came running and saw her fending off 5 of these assailants. In fact, as he begins to speak, she would begin coughing up blood.
I was about to say they must not be very good assassins if 5 of them couldn't kill one person. Do I have? Joe, you have healing. You're good. Joe.
well, we'll look at her.
Heal check.
Did Joe turn his mic off? Because I actually heard him say, "I'll look at her," and that's it.
Stefanos can't hear you.
I can't hear him either if he's talking.
Yeah,
over
it
the mic.
just didn't. It just didn't come through.
Words?
Yeah.
Words.
Okay, I was wondering why I got so quiet.
Yeah, no one could hear anyone, I guess.
Huh. Well, yeah. Go to her, approaching her, doing the heal at the 16. Looking to see if this is the work of poison.
With a 16, it seems like signs show that she may in fact be afflicted with some kind of poison, though which one eludes you.
Ask me.
Well, I would vocalize some kind of poison.
Arcane thing. I now detect poison. I cast detect poison. And yes, she is poison. Well, I assume she is poison.
Yes.
Yes, she is poison.
Yes,
Thank you.
You would detect poison on her.
There's my alchemy check to know what it is.
Okay. It appears she was afflicted with the same kind of poison that afflicts a manticore's stinger. It is causing her con damage every round that she fails the save. 2 consecutive saves will cure her. You're pretty sure it'll last 6 rounds. And every round she fails, that's 2d4 con damage.
Oh, Jesus. I don't have neutralized poison. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong spell list. Maybe I do.
No, I think Atarka would have been able to get the others back if they'd want to. Start trip number 2.
Yep, it's what, a standard action to teleport?
Yeah, for them. Stupid elemental. Bullshit.
I absolutely do not have neutralized poison. I have lesser restoration, though. I will, Can I quick study things in my amulet?
What, the divine stuff?
Yeah.
And quick studies with the arcane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's look at the spells you know. You need your spell book or whatever would be.
I would say yes,
present,
you probably could.
and you could.
Okay, I would quick study lesser restoration, and I can't get rid of it, but I can fucking spam get rid of that con damage until she's good.
Okay.
So I'll give her 3 of them for now.
Okay, roll it. All right.
Because it's a round apiece too.
Yep. Well, Natarka would have been able to get everybody else here at this point, and then everybody else would see the scene before them with the figures. And you would have also been able to tell that the manticore poison has been alchemically enhanced. Stefanos.
Okay.
All
I
right.
know Chris hates con, so she probably doesn't have a very high con.
As the seconds pass, she does continue to cough up blood. As her body appears to be racked with pain, she kind of doubles over.
Take 2 more.
Yep. Stefanos, I'm going to motion for you. I'm going to take her and motion to move to the bed.
Okay. Well, she was already sitting on the edge of it.
Okay, good. Fuck it. You're fine. We did it. You healed amazingly.
Yeah, if anything, she's got 1 round left, but probably not going to have to do a full round to do this, so it should be over by the end of this.
Yep. She would seem to recover after that bout of coughing, and while she still looks somewhat pale, she does not. She ceases to cough up the red light blood of her body.
Sounds important. Should keep that.
Well,
I would start checking the bodies of the assassins.
there you go. I'd ask Rowan if there was a discernible leader amongst them, and did any escape?
He'd say it's hard to tell. Or when I came, they were attempting to overwhelm Miss Elia, and though 2 were already slain, he'd say that one's got the best weaponry. Kind of point to one of them. what would you be looking for while this is going on, Chris?
Anything.
Okay. You'd notice that the well, you'd see beneath their clothing and arm, their weapons are all curved. Basically, curved, very nasty-looking short blades. Though, and they all possess the same kind of kerchief beneath their clothing and armor. It has a single Arabic letter on it.
Chris, you goddamn
Haha,
terrorist.
I speak Arabic. Also, would a knowledge and ability suffice to know what that means? Like the kerchief and all that?
You could roll it, yes. Either knowledge, nobility, or geography.
I don't know if we have time to be dealing with the Hashashin, Nate.
Allahu Akbar.
This one's me, and this one is my familiar. Both geography.
You would recognize the sigil of the Hashashi.
We ain't got time for that shit. I go to basic soon.
We really don't.
Well, I'm gonna pick the one with the nice armor up. How much does he weigh, Nate? Because this is gonna be, we're gonna go find the nearest wall, because someone's about to come back to life and tell me some shit.
I mean, it's kind of his choice.
Did
He
you
does have a choice, but he might decide he wants that.
did you already rest again? Because I thought you brought back somebody
You're right.
the past 2 days.
You're right. God damn it, I should have slept
You know-
again.
Did he say any escaped?
And he didn't get to that part yet. And he'd say it did. None escaped. They seemed very committed to their task.
Tap
You
my
don't.
chin and say, so they appear out of nowhere or through the front door?
Those peasants were Zach, they were mixed in with the servants, I imagine.
I don't think
Ilya-
the servants are peasants.
Well, you know.
So definitely from nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Iliad would say that she's not sure where they came from. That she was musing over some books when she had heard something, turned around, and there had been 3 of them already, in the room with their weapons drawn. And then while she was attempting to put some distance between her and those 3, 2 more had appeared. One had managed to cut her, which is when she let out the cry, and when Rowan came running.
A nod. I'll say, I think I'll go notify my men to keep a watch out. I'll see about having 2 stationed at the door so that they make sure you're all right.
Like she would, or since they're wearing rags, just make sure people don't have weapons on them. The weapons
I'd
or
look
armor.
to you, Zach, and I'd say the guards that no one enters the keep, no one enters the castle.
Oh God!
Yeah, what the hell was that?
Sorry, can you say that again?
That was my phone vibrating because someone sent a thing. It'd say, inform the guards that no one gets in without being checked, and only the guards and us shall come in with arms and armament.
Give a nod and I'll head out to the guard station. You guys do things.
Look to Elia and say, we'll tend to you for now. Rowan, there's something at Camelot. Atarka will take you there. There's something in Camelot for you. Atarka will take you there.
And if I had the key, I would give it to him. The Atarka.
Rowan would look somewhat confused, but he'd incline his head.
I'm going to use Identify on these guys. Do any of them have magic on them?
All of them do.
Is
Free
it
magic
all,
item.
is it all from the same kind of object?
Well, all of their weapons have magical auras, as well as they all have rings, and those kerchiefs around their necks are also producing a magical aura.
Oh, I've got a 32 minimum, or 31 minimum spellcraft.
Well, I'd be pulling off the rings for you. I don't know about the kerchiefs. I've never been into that.
Yeah, I'm at least gonna check 2 of them if they're the same
Sounds
price
gay.
as everything else is.
Okay.
Except for the main guy, I'll check all his stuff.
Well, it appears that all of their weapons are +1s. The rings are all rings of obscurity. They grant a +4 bonus against attempts to detect or read thoughts, as well as +4 against any any attempt to scry or detect their location.
Ooh.
I'll take one of those. I have 0 rings.
The kerchiefs
Mm.
all appear to be imbued with the same kind of enchantment that would be found on a sleeve of many garments. And they grant a +10 stealth bonus in dim light or darkness, and a +4 in just regular light.
I'm meant to shine like a torch of justice, so I can't wear that.
I have to agree with Chris in this endeavor. Though Stefanos could wear it in cat form as like a little cowl. Stealthy as shit.
Cat
So
star.
I already have like a 25 mod to stealth.
Do you keep that big ass hat on when you're a cat?
Yes.
Yes.
Might as well ask now. The weapons, of course. What are the rings of obscurity and kerchiefs of lots of shit are worth?
I mean, if we're not gonna sell them right away, let's wait on that. That can be a thing we do once Chris is left, so we can actually do stuff with the time we have.
Oh, cool. We're gonna continue without me again.
I mean,
No, we're gonna figure out the price of stuff when we're done, instead of waiting to do it in the middle of the session where it could take 10 to 20 minutes away from us doing stuff.
Okay.
If things were to continue without you, it'd be because we're split up and it makes sense because people are still available.
Hmm.
Anyway, yep, don't worry about it for the time being.
okay.
See, while you're doing that, that would still be essentially 6 sets of spellcraft. So,
Oh, is it 6 of each item, not 5?
well, you said you were only looking at like 1 or 2 of each piece. Or 2
Oh,
of each
yeah,
piece
yeah.
To
Yep. Okay.
see if they were the same.
But they're not minute long. I'm just doing standards.
Okay. And
Well.
did you still pick up the big guy, Joe, and put him against the wall?
Nope, can't res him because Chris reminded me. Thanks, Chris. Keep me honest.
Okay.
Well, I don't know why they came here, but clearly they had a goal. By their unison, they're some kind of professional. Doubt we'll see them again for a while, and even think security would help.
I would pipe in with who they are.
I'd say that it seems like they're trying to kill all of your magically inclined allies.
Atarka's with us, right? No, he's not. I said, should we let Atarka alone?
Is it
He's with Rowan, and
Hmm.
as long as he keeps that elemental by him, he should be able to get away.
Okay.
Oh, if nothing else, there was the one that attacked me that's now in the torture chamber.
Just nod. Clean up, strip him of what's useful, and
And what would you be doing with during all this, Chris? You said you were looking. Were you continuing to look them over, or?
If Stefanos would let us know what the rings do, I would take one of those, but otherwise, nothing.
Yeah, if you ask, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'll ask.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take.
And Stefanos, the main guy's weapon, upon closer inspection, is actually a rather. You've not seen its like before, as it is a curved blade with a jagged saw-like edge and curved grip. The enchantment on it is +1, but it also possesses the ability as a standard action, or sorry, move action, to 3 times per day affect the edge or apply a poison to the edge. Just it conjures the poison along the edge itself.
Can I tell if it's that nasty poison that just hit her?
You can tell that it probably was. The blade can store up to... Yeah, it can store up to 3 doses of said poisons.
Oh, so it's not magically conjured, it stores it.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
On my part.
Hmm.
Yep, and basically, like, you store the poison in there, and the blade is not poisoned until you use the move action to coat the edge with it.
Okay. What's the word? Do I know what type of weapons they all are? It sounds like they're sawtooth sabers based on my out of character description, but
You can do a knowledge. Give me a knowledge geography, or a or like a profession bladesmith, or what have you.
yeah, there's a geography.
Well, you can definitely tell that it is a weapon of the Far East, Middle East, and it is a sawtooth blade, or sawtooth saber.
Okay.
And Zek, as you'd be hitting the... Yeah, you guys are all by now. As you would hit the entryway here, you would see some guards huddled up, appearing to be shooing people away. And one of them would see you and immediately be like, "Thank fucking God!" And he would just come running over to you.
I just go and stop as soon as he gets over and say, "What do you have to report?"
There's been a murder, sir.
Yeah, there's 5 upstairs. What else is new?
I kind of go and give a raised eyebrow and say, "Outside of the keep."
He'd nod and he'd be motioning you over.
I would go over to look at the body.
Well, you'd see 2 of them, and they look remarkably familiar as you notice 2 of Stefanos' students,
That motherfucker.
former students.
Were they the level 0 ones?
Yes. They would appear to be his... I mean, you can't discern them as such, but you'd see 2 of Stefanos' students with rake marks across their throats as they're just left. They were just left in a crumpled heap behind some sacks and crates.
Now, do they have any weapons on them? The bodies?
They had their quarterstaffs, but that's about it.
Joe, forget to speak with the dead. There's a spell that's kosher. petty necromancy. See the last few seconds of someone's life. That's what
Get
we
it.
want. I mean, if I can.
Kind of give a nod as looking at that and say, well, looks like they're targeting the magic people. Or the people that can use magic of our keep. Around and I'll give them the instructions and say, keep a close eye on any of the students the cat has. And I'll just add that onto the instructions I wrote above.
There's only one other. And I think he left.
Yep, he had departed. As he now was decently skilled to potentially make a name for himself.
Now the other interesting part is, what about Chris and Joe's followers? There's gonna be some wizards in that group. They don't have faces, so
Neither did your students.
they had slight personalities at least. We literally never mentioned the other ones.
I don't think any of Nine's followers are magical, except the cohort. So, because
I didn't do anything with my guys other than be like, hey,
they
whatever they
exist.
decide to mark. Yeah, they exist. I acknowledge that in fact they exist.
That's what I mean. There's like 30 or 40 of them. I'm sure 1 or 2 are wizards. There's like 3 clerics in the group, so.
But I'd add on to it saying, notify us if any more disturbances.
He'd give a nod.
And I'll say you can find us at the keep, for now.
Sir, Scytheman, sir. Sir, Scytheman, sir.
I'll look over to the goblin and I'll kneel down with them. Say, and give him a smile and say, looks like you're doing well.
Oh, you can't remember his name? You can't remember his name?
I have it written.
He'd nod, and he'd say, just found a thing! Just found a thing!
I mean, you can't remember our best friend Giz?
I remember Giz. I
Giz-
can't pronounce his entire name. Gizipferb.
Gizipfer?
You see, you'd see him, he's got what appears to be a rope in his hand, and something's dragging along it. And that something proceeds to catch onto a box, causing him to be yanked off his feet, mid-stride. Upon closer inspection, it seems that he has a pair of grappling hooks and rope.
I'll go over to him, I'll help him get up, and I'll say, so Giz, where did you find these?
He'd point and he'd say, out by the dock. As he points out toward here. He'd say, Giz was looking for a place to piss. I mean, Giz was on patrol, and Giz found Giz found these. Giz found things.
I'll give him a few pats on the head and say, Giz did very good.
He beams as he'd nod, and he'd attempt to kind of coil them up, but fails at it pretty miserably as he gets his up to his elbows tangled in the ropes.
I'll just hold my hand up to him to kind of symbolize stop. I'll go and take him from him.
He would bow his head deeply and say, Giz gonna go look for more things.
I'll give him a nod and say, you go ahead and do that.
He would turn around and just start patting off.
And I will go back to the men and give them new information of having a few more patrols around the dock and around the outer part of the keep, these grassy parts.
Yep, and they would receive your orders.
I'll just kind of mark where I want to go.
Yep. And Joe, Chris, and Stefanos. What would you guys be doing at this point?
I'd be looking over my spellbook, seeing if I had anything to try and secure the place. Spoiler, I don't.
What's the name of the what's the name of the guy who's trying to become king through less than good means? Mordred?
Mordred.
I'd say Let's say this Mordred fellow. This. Let me start over. This Mordred fellow seems to see you guys as a large threat.
So if it is him, he could be losing a valuable ally. Well, I've never claimed it. I've never truly claimed to be the king. I just want this mission secure. This country secure.
I'd nod and say, well, he's lost my vote.
Look to you, Stefanos. I just nod at you, Chris, that's sorry. And I would hand you the whatever random item that belonged to Kay that I grabbed from Kay's room. I'd ask, can you find Kay with this?
Maybe.
He's not.
You could try.
I'd say if he's not a part of this, he might know more.
It's all with Morgana here.
Yep. She's standing off to the side, kind of her arms crossed. Boy is like gripping his blade angrily as he's just looking at all this like, you know, cowards.
I want to hit them with my insight bonus. Damn it.
I'd say if they're targeting magic users, they'll probably go after you too, Morgana. I think we should probably stick together. If you want to come down while I perform the scrying.
She would nod, follow suit. Boy would give a brief glance over to you, Joe. Go ahead.
I'd just nod for him to follow them.
And he would do so.
And as I go downstairs, I would walk through that imaginary wall I have at the end of the thing over here. Animate the pickaxes again. Oh shit, I don't have it ready. Actually, never mind. Okay, I'll start performing the scrying. And I will have send be lookout over here.
Yep.
And that takes an hour, so.
Okay. Well, what would the rest of y'all be doing for an hour?
Well, I looked to Chris, because we're the only ones there. Would you have left with them, Chris?
I didn't hear what they're going off to do.
They're going to go scry to find Kay. See if maybe potentially break his will save plus his magical defenses against being scried against.
You guys are gonna be doing that for an hour? Did I hear an
That's
hour?
how long casting is, yeah.
Nate, do these assassins, do they look, particularly, Middle Eastern?
Well, they each appear to have a disguise upon them to make them look more European, but upon the close inspection, you would have given them, you know, having taken their rings and stuff off, you would see that they do have a very exotic look to them.
It'd be too hard to go out and look for people. Yeah, I think I would just stick with, magic people in case somebody shows up again, so I guess I'd be heading off with Morgana and them.
I will clean up my study. Mainly just moving the bodies. The blood is irrelevant. I don't need bodies in here.
It's like, you're a dirty assassin, you're over the side into the moat. You're a dirty assassin, you're over the side into the moat.
Act like that isn't what's happening.
Meanwhile, bitches along the wall are just seeing bodies sailing off the edge and just hitting the hill and rolling into the water.
Make sure you
around
throw
what time
out
of day?
My house and tried to hurt my people. Fuck.
Nate, around what time of day is it?
It'd be about mid-morning.
Okay. Whatever it is, this is his will save he needs to beat. And I have taken the possession to account, so don't adjust it for that.
Stefanos, when you get a free moment, checking the food of the castle might be a good idea too, for poison.
Good idea.
Okay. And... a second. Okay. Your attempt to scry him would be unsuccessful.
Scratch my head and say, huh, it didn't work. I can try again tomorrow.
Morrigan would nod, and she'd say it was worth it. It was worth a try. We don't have much else to go on at this point.
Well, Nate, at this point,
I
I'm
don't-
just walking around.
I mean, I can tell us stuff about the object, Chris, not about where he is now.
Anyways, I'm just going around once all the bodies have been removed from the study, and I'm just talking to people, asking about anything weird, and detecting evil on everyone that I've never seen before, and some that I have.
Okay. Oh. As he's doing that here. As yep, you'd be doing that. You wouldn't detect anything out of order. And let's see. What are you doing at this point, Chris?
Probably nothing. I guess I would stick by our magic people.
Okay. Oh, let's see. As the Zach, you just patrolling with your men, or with the men, or what are you doing at this point?
I told them they'd be able to find me in the keep, so I'm heading up into there for now. I'd convey any information that I gained. Probably learn that Chris said the same thing, so.
Okay, well, the day would pass then.
On that note,
Oh,
your
yeah.
goggles are now done.
Was that?
I don't want to talk to him because I don't think that'd take an hour to push that.
They would not return.
Stefanos, I would tell you 2 of your followers died.
Okay.
What? So where are they now?
Well, I got nothing until things happen, so...
Is that you're asking where they're at?
Yeah.
Go and say their bodies were found in front of the keep.
But, yes, but where are they now?
Is there a specific place we have where the bodies go? The only thing I could say would be like, go ask one of the guards out front, and they'd be able to tell you.
I think we probably got one of those guys who's rolling around in a wagon going bring your dead. I think we could have one of those.
There's a small cemetery, a little ways off.
You guys got a cemetery?
From here.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, they're either still down there in front of the gate, or they've been taken to the cemetery already.
I would have Sen go instruct the guards to bring them back here.
Okay, and they would do so.
For now, I'll just put them in the cold cellar storage. That's appropriate.
And these bodies go in the freezer, and these go in the freezer, and
Shh. I'd say
do not question what is in your mutton pie. It might not be mutton.
I'd say, with any luck, we'll get Beldroth to fix him up later.
So I guess the question is, Nate, did an encounter happen?
Nope.
Okay. That's because that's weird because I control him.
Yep. If anything would have happened, I would have let you know.
Okay.
Stefanos, I'll give you a shrug and I'll say we shouldn't too heavily depend on him. I'm assuming it has to have some sort of major strain on him.
I just shrug. Oh well.
Yes, follow trees. Sounds like a Greek god.
Anyway, so that's, I mean, yep, they're brought to you. Anything else anyone would do for the, for the duration of the evening until morning would come?
Oh yeah, Zach. As I said, your
around the place all night.
Zach, I would hand you your mask back.
Ah,
It is
neat.
complete. Also, I don't know if this will ever come up, but I would put an invisible arcane mark on the inside of it with my symbol on it.
Is that just your signature now?
Yeah, pretty much. But it's invisible. You need detect magic to see it, so.
Did I already pay you for that? I don't remember.
You did not, but I have subtracted it from all the divvying and shit, so don't worry about it.
Okay, well, you would be able to walk around. The night would pass. For the folks who are still up all night doing guard.
Yeah, eventually I would ask you, Joe, so where's Atarka?
I'd say I don't know. And
Wait, we actually don't know?
yeah, some magic plot stuff happened to him.
Oh. What was the last thing he did?
He
Teleported away.
teleported to the castle with Rowan,
Oh.
so we'll probably get a letter in the mail later. Some villain gloating.
Alright.
No, I guess at dark I'd go out to the guard tower.
Can't wear a scary mask to see in the night, though.
I am.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, well, morning would come then. And what would you guys be doing at this point?
I'd go into rest.
Sex in a coma.
Get at least 4 hours of sleep going in. Maybe 4 hours later in the day.
I'd like to make sure no more incidents happened in the night. Actually, I would have kept watch anyway, just to not sleep, but I'd still go to check.
Yep, you'd find that no incidents happened during the night.
Okay. I'm going to go get 2 more pickaxes, go back down, do extended fucking animate tools, 16 hours times 3 work. Didn't work.
I'd go.
That. Oh yeah, I will also go detect poison on whatever food substances we have to make sure it's not poison.
Okay, you would detect no poison on your foodstuffs.
Okay.
I'd go make sure all of our magic people are alive.
Yeah.
Most left of them.
Yep, you would find that everyone is well and alive.
Yes, Joe, I would also ask you if you could help fix them.
Fix them, they broke.
They didn't break.
You could fix them or you could bring back the terrorist.
who might not even come back. Also, we do have a captive already, so...
I guess I'd just be sticking around Morgana's area, because Stefanos, he can handle himself. Ilya, she's not this character's responsibility, so...
It's true.
Ah yes, Nate. Just in case when I am down in my study, I will have an alarm, a silent pinging alarm about right here. On all the time.
Right
So
where?
if someone
Okay.
over here by the stairs down, so if someone comes down, I know.
Yep.
Well, I would say Stefanos. Wait till the end of the day. We'll see what today brings. And I would ask if I could borrow your griffin if it works. Unless everyone wants to take a trip to Camelot.
Nope, I'm gonna stay here for any incidents.
I would say what for?
To look for Tarka and Rowan.
It's only got one more use left for the week. Why don't I make you a carriage to get there and you can use it to come back?
It's not at that. Let's murder some invisible horses.
Well, invisible
Yeah.
rider man.
Yeah, real horses to murder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Real fake horses.
Ilya would pretty much be spending most of her time with Morgan, who would be basically spending time meditating with the items she received from Merlin's tower, as well as conversing with Ilya. Which, Chris, if you're
Yes.
hanging around Morgana, you would hear her talk about she made more attempts to divine
The divine.
those images that came with the key through psychic means,
Yes.
and she saw a lot of very unpleasant things: deformed creatures, mutated fae, a lot of shadow.
I want to go to the fucking Winter Court. Fuck Mordred. We'll just come back and this place will be a wreck and we'll be the heroes this country needs. Let's go fuck up Arthur. Sounds cool.
Let's fuck him up.
I like to the druids.
Oh yes, I will try.
Druid up there,
Nate, I will try the scrying once more. For the man.
Okay.
26 again. Make it a 28 this time. Use an arcane point.
Okay. Actually, no. Your attempt would be unsuccessful today as well.
Jeez.
Or sorry, wait, what's the DC?
28.
Okay. Today you would actually succeed.
You did it.
As
Yeah, the +2 helped.
you would catch a, let's see, what does all scrying grant you? It grants you their immediate surroundings and sound.
Yes. You can see and hear the subject in his surroundings approximately 10 feet in all directions of the subject. If he moves, it follows him at up to a speed of up to 150 feet. Last 1 minute level, so 10 minutes.
Okay.
And, well, Joe's not here, so I'm not going to get anyone. I don't think anyone else cares.
I'm just trying to do as little things as possible because we have limited sessions.
Okay. Well, you would see Kay. He appears to be in some sort of stone room. The contents of the room are just everywhere, like scattered, chaotic disarray. and he is clutching his sword, kind of huddled over with his forehead against the floor, just screaming.
What kind of contents are scattered all over?
What appear to be fabrics, clothing. There's a upended trunk. There's table, chairs. There's a bed over on the other side that got flipped up. Has some deep rents in it. Looks like he probably attacked it with his sword.
Does the room look familiar at all?
It does not.
Okay. Yep, I'll keep on it for the 10-minute duration, see if anything changes.
Yep, he just continues. He kind of screams himself hoarse. You hear him say, "Make it stop, make it stop, get out of my head." As at one point he gets up and then just swings his sword full tilt against the wall, as if trying to attack some unseen assailant.
That's how I feel, Joe. Ooh, message can work through this. I didn't know that. 5% chance for caster level of operating through the sensor.
Ooh, you could send him messages. Where are you? We can help.
That's actually a 50% chance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna roll it till I'm done, but a 1 succeeds, 2 fails. Okay, this is Wrench. Where are you? Yes.
Hey, fuck you, guy.
He whirls around as if trying to see you. And he would yell out, "Begone, phantoms," as he would strike at another unseen target. Perception.
Does anyone else's macros overlapping the names now? 'Cause it's really annoying.
Don't use macros, so nope.
Okay.
You see as he swings that with his sword that time, you see a spatter along the floor as his blade had apparently made contact with something, if only just.
Yeah.
Does he look surprised?
Nope, he continues swinging at that space.
Detect evil!
I mean, that does work through it, but I don't have detect evil.
And he would continue, slashing and...
This is actually a cantrip, so I can do it as much as I want. I keep trying, no. Kay, no, really. Where are you? You left the castle a few days ago. Where did you go? We can help.
Me help you.
He'd say that he'd begin with he's at the castle, but then he grunts and he says that the witch keeps getting in his head and her minions assail him. And about that time you actually see him hurl across the room, slamming in the upper corner near the ceiling, and then sliding down the wall, but he's held there in place.
Where in the castle? Since this is slightly dire, I'll actually roll.
Huh?
Yeah, one again.
Yep. And as he would he'd say that he is at he's at Mordred's castle.
Do I know where that is?
No, it's Geo. And as he says that, he makes a slashing motion and appears to dismember the creature as blood begins to gush upon the floor. You'd know that Mordred's castle used to be where the little bit north of Yorkshire, but during the period of the Civil War, a powerful enchantment was placed upon it so that the castle's location changes every day.
Oh. I would ask, how can we get there? How do you find the castle?
He would just kind of coughing for a moment. He would say, I've been bloody well trying to figure that out myself. He says, I probably wouldn't be here if not for the witch. And at that point, he takes a plunge forward, striking 3 rapid attacks into this unseen target. Got more blood spattering around the ground. And you would see, you would actually hear a voice, as the voice would say, My, you have fallen, still playing with the guard dog. As the woman whom you guys saw in Merlin's demiplane would stride through the door, wave a hand, sending him sailing against the wall really hard. Several bits of stone get dislodged from the force, and he just hits the ground like a sack of potatoes.
Well. I don't know how much longer I got left, but I'll see it through.
She would kind of, she'd walk over to where you can see like a pool of blood forming on one of the squares. And she just looks over and just says, well, you were a little more useful than intended. She'd clutch her hands and appear to cast some kind of spell.
I don't think I can. I can potentially spellcraft through that. Yeah, it doesn't give magic sight through the scrying, but I can do a spellcraft. No, never mind. It has your full visual acuity, including magical effects.
Okay. She is casting a Maximize Empowered Immolation, and the thing proceeds to catch fire and turns to ash.
That's scary.
You see its outline for a moment as a disfigured humanoid shape with spines. The creature was large. As it literally burns to cinder, and then she stopped for a moment. She looks up and casts another spell.
Abort. Abort.
Yeah, dodge out of the way. Or get out of the way, just in case.
As she makes her hand motions, your scrying is blast, like it shatters like glass, the sound of breaking glass actually echoing in your ears. And I need a will save.
Of course.
Now she's scrying you.
You're stunned for a few seconds, but you're able to recover quickly as the sound just becomes deafening for a moment. And all vision in the scrying is lost.
Detect magic, looking myself over. I don't have anything left on me, do I? Didn't do anything else.
Well, you would actually see a enchantment upon you. It appears that this enchantment enables her to scry you at will.
Good thing to save. You can put a non-detection ring on.
Yeah. What level is detect magic? 3rd level spell? Okay. Quick study, detect magic is on. And I'm going to be casting that till it's gone. Roll 1. Good enough?
Oh, dispel magic. You said detect magic.
Dispel magic, yeah. I also wrote detect magic, don't worry.
Okay. That would not be enough to dispel it.
1, 2,
That is not
3.
You would manage to dispel it this time,
Yeah,
as
roll
the
seven.
magic crackles and fades from your person.
his life. There you go.
How long has Joe been gone? About an hour?
He borrowed the griffin, right?
No, he made a
I-
carriage. but
Oh,
he
I made
carriage.
him a carriage
Okay.
and gave him the griffin. But he's taking the
Understood.
carriage for now.
Okay. Yeah, he'd have been gone about an hour at this point.
That takes 5 hours, I think.
That was at normal speed, not we need to go speed,
Oh,
which
you're
is the
going
only
in-
speed I know.
That's true. 2.5 hours. Okay. I would run upstairs and tell Zach. Tell company.
You're waking
Events.
me up?
It's
I'm-
morning, so
Yeah.
you'd be up.
Oh. I was just taking a nap in the morning.
I won't wake you up for it.
Okay.
We can't do anything right now. I'll tell you when you're up, though.
Would have stayed up through the night and taken a nap in the morning for 4 hours.
Okay.
I'd fumble to my feet. I guess. Just be like, what?
Could I do a check to see if I know how to predict where the castle will be? Or where the castle will be?
Knowledge Arcana or
Wow.
knowledge history.
Oh, no. Yeah, you already opened the door to that.
Well, you'd know that that particular enchantment tends to, even though it would, even one set to randomly teleport to different locations, all have to have those locations pre-designated when the enchantment is made. So if you were to know any of those locations, then you could potentially guess where it might appear next.
I can guess the possibilities at least.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to the study and start looking through books, see if they have any known sightings of the castle.
Okay.
Or yeah, can I do a knowledge history to see if I know
Yeah.
where it had been seen before?
Yep.
That's me, and that is Sen. Not much
I was waiting for both of you to just fucking bomb it.
I was kind of expecting it. Wait, hold on, I lied. He has an 18 in history. History is his specialty. So that's,
30 then, right?
yes, 30, because I fucked up my thing. There you go.
Just to make it legit.
Yeah.
Anyway, you would know that the castle has been known to appear at its location north of Yorkshire. Also it has been seen near Edinburgh, as well as near Caerduran. That's what Darren.
Where is Edinburgh?
Way up north, right next to Nordlands.
Holy shit. Okay, yep.
Sen would know that the castle has also been seen outside of Stonehenge, as well as near King's Lynn, which is the current capital of the Kingdom of Morhaine.
Morhaine is in the east, west, north?
East,
South.
right there next to Camelot.
Oh, there it is.
There are stories of it sometimes appearing in Hibernia to the west, but no one, you guys aren't able to defer any stories of like specifics from there, as that is a rarely traveled region to begin with.
Okay. So the closest is by far Stonehenge. Alright, I'm pretty much done for the day. I will wait around and see what happens with Joe, since he should be back before the night's end.
Okay.
And I will start making another item, which, whatever.
And Chris, what would you be doing for this day?
Yeah, work on those braces the merciful knight, bro.
I'm working on the amulet of get my familiar the ballet thing to make him craft faster.
Stefanos, did you end up telling us about the scrying?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Zach, you know about the scrying thing?
I did, and I went back to sleep when he told me.
Yeah. Oh, Joe, you got rid of my text, Joe.
What?
Oh no, Nate deleted my text.
Huh? Oh, this is definitely not a person.
Yeah, now it's literally not a person. There's no one there.
That's true.
Alright, yeah, no. I'd just be, I think I'd just be the personal guard for Morgana for a time.
Okay. Well, Joe, it would take you about 4 hours, breakneck pace, to get to Camelot.
Fuck those horses.
Break time.
Yep.
As you would,
As long as Nate makes it quick, it's gonna be quick.
as you would make it there to Camelot. I presume you'd be beelining right up to the
Yep,
Merlin's
I'd
town.
leave the carriage in a place. I'm trying to think if it'd be faster to move to the city without the carriage, or just leave it out there. Fuck it. Carriage all the way up to the gate.
Okay. Yep, they would kind of stop you for a moment, but one of the guards would recognize you and, bid you a good day and ask what appears to be the matter.
Say someone went missing here. One of my companions went missing in the castle. I'm here to find them.
The man would nod and ask if you need assistance in this.
Just shake my head.
And with that, you'd be led into the castle.
Led into the castle.
One of them would ask if you wish the round to be notified.
I'd say not the round, but inform Sir Tristram that I'll be near Merlin's study if he can find the time.
Remember, Joe, you can't touch it.
He would give a nod.
Oh no, we're allowed. He said we were allowed.
Did he?
Yeah, he said we were allowed now.
I don't remember
Like,
that,
I
but
asked
okay.
if we could come back, and he's like, oh, yes. Need any further assistance? By all means. Stuff like that.
Alright.
Tristram might not be allowed, and that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
As you
He said they
would,
tried to get in, so I doubt it probably didn't disintegrate them, so I assume they are.
As I'm moving through the castle, Nate, I am detecting evil on people as I go by.
Okay, well, you would detect like 2 of the noblemen would have faint evil auras. You don't catch any more than that. But you would actually, upon making your way through one of the corridors, you would see one of the noblemen kind of standing upright. He's actually armed and armored, similarly to the knights themselves, but he wears no sigil of Camelot. He has a strong evil aura.
Good.
And he appears to be conversing with Sir Aglavale.
Well, he's got a plan. Agavale's talking to him, that's fine. Do his weapons look curvadude?
No. Well, as you'd be making your way to the Merlin's tower, you'd see the doors closed.
Well, just put a hand on it. Do I die?
You do not.
I guess I'm gonna try and go in it. Do I die?
The door would open. And as it opens, you see a bluish film appear over the portal.
Oh.
I was gonna say you didn't say the command word, but oh, never mind.
Oh yeah, fuck. I do know that, so they probably gave me the benefit of the doubt.
As the bluish film would seem to dissipate in the air before you, it would leave the opened, the opening, and you would see the grass and everything out in Merlin's demiplane.
Well, hammer's out for Harambe. Shut the door behind me.
Well, as you'd make your way out, you'd see the plains of Merlin's demiplane.
Well, I'll make this quick. Hammer's out. Heading to the house. Single knock. Single loud knock.
Mm-hmm. The door would open. You'd see the little wooden man trying his best to clean off one of the book racks up about a head or two higher than you.
Yeah. Well, I would ask him if he's seen companions, or my companion, because Rowan accompanied with another one.
He would say yes. He'd say they entered the tower a moment ago.
I don't have the key.
How long as a moment ago?
Time things. Done. Yeah, he doesn't. He's probably not sure what time is. Well,
He was like, yeah, Merlin's hasn't been here in just a little bit. How long? 2 months.
yeah,
So his time
Yeah.
perception is a little weird being
it's relative. All relative.
Yeah.
I just nod at that and ask if I can get to the top of the tower where it was left for us, where the stuff that was left for us sat without the key, or if there's another.
He would nod and proceed to plummet from the shelf, hitting the ground for a moment. He falls onto his buttocks, gets up, kind of brushes himself off, twists his wrist, which opens a compartment where he pulls another key and begins walking.
Let's go, little guy. He's so nice. There ain't shit up there.
As he would lead you out to the tower, he would he'd stand up tall, kind of getting the key in its lock, and he would set the door and open it, and you'd see the spiral staircase going up.
I'd offer him my thanks. So it'll be but a moment. And head on up.
Okay. This is slightly relevant now. Atarka and Rowan reach the top of the tower.
Yay!
See the chest there. Rowan would kind of point to it and ask, "That's for me, I guess."
Time! Well, I'd answer yes, because, you said I see that and hear that. And the Beldroth would answer yes, and Tark would just be like, whoa, what?
Rowan would kind of turn around quick, like, okay. He's not all that surprised. You guys seem to be able to poof in and out of just about anywhere.
Say with Tarka, you told me this plane moves at... You said this plane moves as if time as ours does.
Sorry, do you want me to keep that off?
No, that's good. It came on and it was dark.
Okay.
And, say, it's been 2 days. I'm assuming he just came in from the tower and this has been 2 days, huh? Tarka. He just came in and walked up.
Yep, he's been here all of like a minute,
There we go.
2 minutes maybe.
You just shrug and say that. Been here about a minute.
Rowan would pick up his pace a bit as he'd quickly like power walk over to the chest and open it. As he would reach his hand in, he would pull out a longsword, and he would pull out an amulet and a shield.
Ooh, he got 3 items. Merlin likes him more than us.
It's true.
Or, sorry, the amulet is fitted into the shield, and he would notice that and take it out, kind of thing.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that. Does that mean he gets 2 amulet effects? This lucky fucker. Well, I'd say to him, Merlin left chests for all of us. How he knew we'd be together is beyond me. He is Merlin after.
He nods slowly, staring at the items with a kind of a sense of both wariness and appreciation.
Say, dark times are coming, Rowan. I think we might have to send someone else out to help your aunt. You may be needed here.
There'd be a moment of confliction, but he would kind of hang his head and he would say, "If that is what the Lord asks of me."
What did his aunt need again? I don't remember.
I'm going to say the Lord is not asking you this. I'm asking you. I don't want you to pick what you want to do.
His aunt had sent him a letter, and she had showed up in Canterbury saying things were urgent. And it was not urgent enough, apparently, that she traveled across France and, sea to get here to England. He would, he'd think on it a moment, and he would say, "Even if it is not the Lord that asks, forces beyond me have apparently placed their faith upon my shoulders."
Shut up, Rowan. We're palading out over here, Chris. Get the fuck out of here, you sassy knight.
He would say,
Savvy.
I would be remiss not to answer its call. I have faith the Lord will protect my aunt in her time of need.
And you just nodded that. Say I'd motioned for him to follow me back down the stairs, or hopefully the bus one. Motion for them to follow me, I'd say. God damn it, I can't remember Stefanos' name.
Kalen.
No, that's-
Rensha.
Yeah.
Other game.
Kalen's
Other game
the
is
other
Kalen.
one.
God damn it.
Okay, I had it right then. Say I asked Rensha to scry on K.
I just call him the cat.
If things will work similarly as they have this time, he should have ample opportunity to find him. Go from there on that information.
Okay. Sorry, that last bit was what again?
Oh yeah, let Stefanos scry. We should have had enough time. In return, once we find out what he knows, we'll move on that information.
Okay. Well, Rowan would nod at that, and he would say, "Then let us depart before we spend too many more days in here."
Just nod. Make my way out. Welcome to the Shadow Realm, Yuki.
Okay.
Fucking Christ. Rancha, son of Rancha. First of his name.
Okay. Well, you guys would depart from the tower and Stefanos, that carriage lasts for what, 24 hours?
No, I think it's 1 hour per caster level. Hold on, let me check.
We'll say that. Target didn't die, so I can get back there, no problem. Oh
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
might be carriage stuff, yeah.
Well,
1
yeah.
hour per level, so it is 10 hours duration.
Okay. Well, unless you'd immediately teleport, you'd find the carriage would not be there.
Well, I would, yep. Teleport, like, as soon as we got back,
In our end, how long have they been gone?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, another 2 days are going to pass.
There you go.
So 2 days.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I got 2 days doing stuff.
No,
I
the
got
day
2 days.
Joe left. The day Joe left was 1 day, or was that counted as day 0?
That was counted, because he went in the morning. That would be counting as day 1.
Okay, so
Day
1
2, so it'd be the morning of the 3rd day.
Okay.
Oh, maybe the
Which means you have 1 day until the coronation.
maybe the tower, like the plane itself to start, is normal time, but then when you're inside the tower, that one moves differently.
Yeah, they're probably different planes. Well, actually, they are different planes.
Well, the Paladin's out there, so you know everything's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
And then I throw an encounter at you that whoops your ass and kills you, and it's like, Joe died. What?
I mean, I got a elemental that's gonna get us the fuck out of there.
Nate, question, just real quick. Could I research a spell that is alter self, but it works on people who aren't only humanoid? Basically the exact same spell, except without that restriction.
So basically, alter monster.
Alter anything, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you want alter monster, because the charm person only works on humanoid, but charm monster works on all things.
Yeah.
Well, this one's personal only anyway, and this would still be personal. I'm just saying, like, alter true. Like, this fucking alters the caster, period. It doesn't have that stupid restriction.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what charm monster does. It doesn't have that restriction. It's whatever you want.
Oh, I thought it was only monster. Well, yeah then.
Okay, you'd be able to do that.
Or disguise. Self, true, whatever. Not alter. Yep, okay. Cool, I got 2 days of that then.
Okay, and Chris and Zach, what would you guys be doing during the 2 days that Joe was gone?
Same stuff as before.
Okay.
Just still keeping watch with the guards.
Okay. Oh.
We have exciting days.
Suppose the only...
Well, as the
I'm bonding with the women. Oh yeah, bonding. Bondo.
Yep, and if you would have spent a great deal of time with Morgana, you would determine that as she spends periods of time meditating with the staff, she mostly talking to this with Ilya, but if you'd be there, you know, you'd hear it too.
Yeah, I'd probably, after like a day, I'd probably just end up being in the room talking with them about the stuff.
Yep. And she'd say that she has like snippets of memories that feel familiar, but they don't seem like hers. But it, like, things that she didn't remember before, scenes flash, you know, playing in her head that they feel like hers, but she has never seen these before the meditation.
Maybe it was when she was a babu.
That's racist.
And they seem to be fairly sporadic. you would get the impression it was not Babu. Like one of them was a memory of her battling another caster
She was a scary babu.
and killing them very horribly, and that unsettles her a little bit.
She's Mordred's mother in a past life. No, in another life. Dun 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 dun.
Both at the same time.
Oh shit!
This has a bigger plot twist than anything M. Night Shyamalan's.
And as the that's what you would hear. And then on the morning of the third day, I imagine into the study again would come Joe, Rowan, and the Tarka man.
Yep, that'd be it. Anything else I have to act on is based on the fact that I heard things from Stefanos, but not while I was there.
Okay, but you three would return morning of the third day since your departure.
If the coronation's tomorrow, I think we should probably head into Camelot for the night.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We'll be back.
It's the morning, so
Yeah, we can carriage in even.
I'm gonna go at night. I'm gonna wake up there in case, you know, shit immediately starts.
Well, I'm gonna look to Rowan. I'm gonna say, find someone you trust, give them the fastest horse, and give them whatever you need to take care of your aunt. If you need money, just ask.
you're not going
And
to
I'll have
teleport the person to London.
Yeah, I'm gonna teleport them on the fastest horse we have.
Oh, okay.
Well, he would say that he doesn't know quite what his aunt needs at this point.
You
But
fucking mooch.
Does he have a possession of hers?
A letter.
yeah, that's about it. The letter.
Wait, does it work?
We're getting miles out of scrying today.
I could do that.
Miles.
Shit.
I just wanted to be stand from accounting today. I just did that, Chris.
What?
Yeah, he put an underscore. Anyways.
No, that wasn't Stefanos doing anything.
I was trying to type an arrow and point to myself and say wizard, but it
No.
apparently isn't showing up when you type the arrow.
Anywho,
I'll just say that then, just...
oh wow, it isn't.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's one arrow.
Nope, left caret
Oh.
and hyphen doesn't work.
Oh, anyway, it broke.
Anyways.
Yep.
Say that, then we'll... Money for transport, another horse, perhaps they can get... Perhaps adequate description. She can be brought here. Hopefully it's a problem we can solve from.
I'm a genius.
Oh, God damn it, Nick. Like I've been looking at your monitor like, oh, I think I think of secrets.
Yeah, what the fuck did you do, Nate?
He
I
turned his monitor.
turned my monitor
Like, I had a
sideways,
perfect
and now I'm
view
like
of it.
perpendicular to my desk.
You fucking idiot.
Anyways, yeah, I'd say give the man a description. We'll get him as far as we can, and hopefully your aunt can be brought back here safely, and we can help.
Oh my god, it's so weird.
That's all I got for Rowan right now.
He would nod, and he would move to fetch said person and horse.
Joe,
and I would make my way down to Stefanos with Atarka in tow, because, you know, wizards are being murked.
I would
Yep.
say, where the hell have you been? It's been 2 days.
I just shake my head, or I'd nod, not shake my head. That implies shaking no. Anyways, I'd nod and say, I was in the tower, not even 5 minutes.
Think about it. Look to Atarka. You only checked to see if the main plane was timeless, didn't you? Or the time flow of the main plane, didn't you?
He'd just nod.
Just like make a face like, yep. Shit, how long is it till the coronation?
Well, that said, you guys did spend 2 days in the tower, and time did not appear to be any slower or faster once you guys had exited. So,
Oh, I don't know. I just knew that we came out as nobles everywhere, so
Maybe it's
Yep.
because we opened the chests.
I mean, they just opened a chest.
Yeah, no, any of the chests were open. So now if anybody tries to get out of that time, like if somebody who's trying to steal shit, you know,
No,
puts them in the future.
Wizards. I'm just
Wizards.
going with that. And I'd just say, oh no, I wouldn't even have heard it from anyone. Well,
You can ask
we
what
know
I
that
found.
Yeah, I am going to ask what you found and say, let's concern ourselves with that later. What did you find?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's in Mordred's castle being attacked by that bitch that attacked us in the demiplane 2 days ago.
Away with words.
Fighting
What?
invisible opponents.
And we can get there?
I mean, it's not impossible. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible. Mordred's castle teleports around every day.
They just nod.
There are does teleport to predetermined locations, but they are scattered throughout the continent. The closest one is the Druidic Circle, but that's one of 10 or more. So we could spend 2 weeks there and it may not even appear.
So we just wait until she comes at us again.
Shrug and say, I mean, if we go to London, I might be able to find a spell to set something up to alert us if it appears, but until then, unless you want to wait or camp out there for the foreseeable future.
It's Mordred's castle.
Oh, he also said that he was not there. He did not know where it was. The witch, probably referring to her, brought him there.
Let's see. As far as we are aware, he might be with the druids. Say shall we gather everyone up and try that before we do too much?
Jesus Christ. What?
Shall we gather everyone up and see if the druids know where Mordred is? Perhaps he knows the location of his castle currently. I just like that sounds like a terrible idea.
I'd say, well, if it's not there, I doubt you're going to get to
The
wherever
phone
it
is what
is.
I'm talking to through, Chris. Because I don't like Nate's headset.
He said that like 3 hours
He
ago,
wasn't
Chris.
here for that.
All right,
So
Chris
stop
wasn't here.
posting stuff, and you won't have to worry about it.
Anyway, I'd say, well, unless you can travel across the continent in less than a day, it'll have moved by then, even if they did know.
I just point to Atarka.
I doubt he's been across the continent to describe it everywhere.
Yeah, we do need to have it described to us to get reasonably close. Just leave and say, you're a wizard, figure me out something. I'm leaving.
I look to Dark and say, it's a bit unreasonable. Hey, Beldroth.
Hey,
If you're gonna,
hey.
if you want me to try and figure something out, I need you to revive them, and point towards the area where the two are. I want you to revive them.
We might be having some big fights. One could happen today. I think the followers can wait a few days.
I just said in general. Besides, in character, I'm not saying, yeah, we're totally gonna fight with PCs today.
Coronation is tomorrow, so...
Yeah.
Tomorrow, yeah.
I don't want to be all tuckered out for it.
Something could happen tonight before it.
Yeah. Say you kept the dragon preserved, do the same for them. I am departing.
Mm-hmm.
Where you going?
Coming to join me? Yeah, you coming to join me?
Oh. Alright. I don't want to talk. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna end up asking Morgan. Check on her, see how she's doing, but otherwise I'm just walking around the town.
And yeah, Nate, they would be ungented.
Okay.
I mean, would you stop Joe to be like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
going to make words?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
then.
I was about to say, then you asked. Yeah, Joe, I'd tell you that, where do you plan on being tomorrow?
Say at this point I'd like to be at the castle before nightfall. So Camelot.
I'd nod. I'd say that was my plan as well. I'd say the sooner we head out, the better. I'd look at the, is Ilya here as well?
Yes.
I'd say we're better off bringing all of our magically inclined people.
She would nod and say that she was actually going to ask if you guys wouldn't mind her coming along, both to see the coronation and to, potentially not be,
Not be murked.
not be alone to be, murdered by strange, assailants.
I would say if there even is going to be a coronation.
I'd say if I had thought to speak with Sir Tristram a little while, I had already gone through one's door. Yes, that would have been enough.
Wait, what'd you say?
Pretty much, I went through the door and did the stuff, and then it hit me that, fuck, I should have gone into Tristram first and warned him about stuff, and then maybe he would have called off the coronation or moved it to a different day.
Yeah, but then you gotta go to basic, so...
That is 100% true, Chris.
I mean, the whole campaign is going to be waiting anyway. We just had like 7 things.
Yeah,
thrown
but
at
we
us.
gotta get to a big fight first.
Yeah, we gotta do a big thing,
I need some big rings.
and this will make it more exciting.
So yeah. Yep, I would. Yep, I'd just tell you that I'm ready to head out for Camelot as soon as possible.
Joe, I need to go to London first.
Fuck London.
Tarka never went with me.
Ugh.
Aha, perfect.
I told the wizards to figure something out.
I'm gonna spend the
General
day in.
Commander, yes, sir.
I'm gonna spend the day in London.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the day is kind of a bit much because we do have the coordination.
I'm gonna spend the day in London and then teleport to Camelot.
There you go.
I'm gonna head to Camelot. Get my men.
Teleport?
I don't have a teleport here yet, so.
I'm gonna wait till all of our people can move. So.
Okay, so everyone except Stefanos is going to Camelot, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And are you all going via teleporty or going by some other means?
It'd
I'll-
be ideal.
I'd probably be going teleporty when everybody can go.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you going to try to get teleported to London, Stefanos, or are you going via Griffin or something?
I cannot make it there. I did the math. It'll take me like 3 days via Griffin. Actually, like, I forget. Even at like double moving the entire time, it's at least 2 days. So yeah.
I'm digging that picture.
What picture?
The secretary?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. New Pokemon character.
New secretary?
Yeah, she better be our new secretary.
Wait, she's in Pokemon?
Yeah, the new one.
Go and get you to the new office of Misty Anderson.
What'd you say, Joe?
Pick one until there's porn.
Oh yeah,
There he is.
somebody immediately linked it to Shad.
And
I was
was
just
like,
like,
you need to make this.
You need to draw her.
Anyway.
Tits need to be bigger. My ass needs to be fatter.
Anyway, okay. So, peeps would be able to be teleported to Camelot, and
When would we be teleported, Joe?
Well, at this point, I would try and get everyone together and make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay. Should we try and bring some of Stefanos' followers so they don't get murked in the night?
They're already
all
dead.
All of them?
Minus
There were
one.
2 that were in the city. The other one left. The 2 that were in the city dead or died or town, whatever.
Alright. Never mind.
Yep.
It's like, hey, you should bring some of your follow. Oh,
My bad.
sorry, too early. Too soon.
anyway. Okay, so, and how does Stefanos intend to get back from London? Because if Tarka's teleporting him out there after everyone gets to Camelot,
I assume Atarka would powwow with me until we're done.
okay.
Yep, and I'd just say be at the gates before nightfall.
Okay, well. Stefanos.
Yep.
The city has a different air to it this time. Martial law appears to have ended, but not a lot of people out and about doing things. And people who are out and about appear to be basically like, I'm getting to a place. I'm not looking at or talking to anybody.
Created a dictatorship.
Well, that's disconcerting. I would say to Atarka. Well, yeah, that's disconcerting. Whatever, we have to hurry. We don't have much time. And I will start going to that merchant guy's shop, see if he's there first.
Well, you find the burnt out refuse of what was his shop.
All those spells.
All magic users! They're going after all of them!
Maybe.
At least it wasn't by a bomb.
As pretty much the whole building is just a burnt out rubble.
Is there anything left in the building, or is it just all soot and ash?
Well, I mean, you can see what's left of like the shaling on the roof, or shingling, but like you can't get into the building at all. It is just a pile.
Well, this was always that lady's thing, is no one has magic but me.
Which lady?
Mordred's mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Reminds me of
I didn't know.
Until Mother Knows Best.
Yeah, it was it was when the session started, or campaign started. We learned about that.
Well, I mean, she kidnapped him. Whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna try and go to another one of the magic shops I knew of, or shop that had magic.
You would find it boarded up.
As in, like, out of business, or boarded up as in no entry?
Like,
Okay.
there are big old boards over the doors, nailed in place, and windows, and chains draped across each of the entryways.
I would try and peek in the window.
You should
It is
ask
not
Aasimar
visible.
what happened.
Like, we are talking boards over everything. This thing is shut tight, no light in, no light out.
Look to Atarka, kind of concerned, and try another one.
Okay. You would find this one too burnt to the ground.
Okay, what the hell? Is anyone passing by?
You would see a person walking by, yes, as they are going about.
I would go try and stop them and ask what happened to all the shops.
Magic shops.
They'd kind of look at you, they'd look at the thing, and they'd go, are you a wizard?
Are you Hagrid?
Ignore my hat, excuse me. No.
He just blinks as he takes a step back from you, and he just says, "Oh, they're gone, man. They're dead. There's no more magic in this city, man. No more magic. They're all gone." And he's like, "Just stay away from me." He would turn and start power walking away from you as quickly as he possibly could without jogging.
Tarka's just gonna point to you, Stefanos, and say, "It's loud. I don't like this. I think we're better off leaving."
One more thing. I'm gonna run to Agatha's.
Okay. You would find the hut still standing, and if you would attempt to gain entry, the door would simply open.
I would go inside tentatively.
Okay. You'd see plenty of broken vials, ampules, and the like. Table is upturned and charred, and there is a absolutely blackened corpse just in the corner, with what is left of a crooked dagger in its hand.
Maybe I could bring her back, Stefanos. Figure out how long she's been dead.
I think that's the guy who tried to kill her. John.
Yeah, that's the assailant.
Just to be sure, quick heal check. That's not her, right?
It would appear to be a male.
Okay.
That is
Second change.
sitting there.
You're assuming her gender.
Yeah, what the fuck? Maybe she's transgender.
I don't think so.
Anyway, now away from Tumblr, the chat. Quick
Prizes penguin.
detect magic, scour the room. All her stuff's been evacuated too, I assume.
Correct.
Okay. I would look on the floor. Is there a piece of hair or something on the floor of hers?
Perception.
Did you just say perception?
Perception. Well, amongst the mess, it is quite difficult to find various things, but you do manage to actually locate a hair.
I will take that. Same color as hers, right?
It appears to be.
Okay. I will take that with me and say, oh, okay, I guess I'll figure this out later. Let's go.
Tarka could not summon an elemental until to get you guys the fuck out of here fast enough. The Camelot. He could not do it faster.
It's just like London's a bad place. Let's get the fuck out.
He tore the world asunder with how fast he cast those spells.
Well, you would arrive in Camelot. Though everyone else would have probably about an hour on you from all the walking around London. What would you guys have done immediately upon arriving in Camelot?
I guess head to the cat.
Tristram, so I can speak words at him.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with them.
Well, that he would be told that he is in the throne room.
I would also. Are you guys just doing this immediately? Yeah, we're probably not there yet. Okay.
Okay, upon making your way to the throne room, you would see plenty of servants. You'd see lots of food set up. Basically, it's been set up as almost like a. They've set it up as a ballroom almost. Lots of tables being set up with like the silks and the tablecloths and things set up. Basically everything but the food that will be cooked tomorrow. He's just kind of standing there on, you know, his foot just kind of raised as he's stepping on the edge of the dais that the throne rests upon, and he's just staring at it.
I'm just making my way up there. If there's people talking to him, fuck them. I'm more important than them right now.
Well, there's some people going about, but everyone's kind of leaving him be at the moment.
You need me to roll charisma so I presence the G beam across the room, Nate?
No.
Okay, because I'm going.
There. As if you would reach his side without saying any words, he would kind of glance over to you. Or, you know, he turned his head to look at you.
Well, look across the room, not really looking at him. Turn and say, "So Kay is in Mordred's castle."
He'd nod and he'd say, "So he did betray us then?"
I'd shake my head and I'd say, what was that bitch's name?
Wyvaran?
We assume it is.
Yeah, yes, you guys.
That's who we assume is. Who we assume is. She has him. As far as I'm aware, Mordred may be resident with druids. Usually druids over. Beyond that, two of our casters have been assailed, two have been killed. Let's turn to him. Are you sure this is such a time for a coronation?
He'd think on it. He'd say,
Can have a king without a coronation.
and he'd say the country. He'd say the country needs this. He'd say it needs to see a king. It needs solidarity. It needs hope. He says a coronation is a gaudy, extravagant event, and it's oftentimes more for the people than anything else. He'd say, no doubt Mordred has something planned for tomorrow. We've made our own preparations. If he wants whatever he has in store for us, we'll strike it down and maintain the peace of this kingdom. We'll show the people that our future, their future, is secure.
You know, some sacrifices. You just nod and put a Hand on his shoulder. I don't envy the weight that you Tristram. And I just walk off. Walk down the dais.
You'd catch a mournful gaze as he just keeps staring at the throne.
Did it, guys. Now we can relax until shit happens.
Well,
I would tell you, Joe, that we should probably check all of the surrounding area where the coronation will be held. Unless it's going to be in the castle?
it's going to be in the castle, like the
In the courtyard? Or in the throne room?
in the throne room. Like
Jesus.
they've got all of the streets and stuff set up for like festivals and processions. There's bards and stuff already scoping spots.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and then the big thing itself is going to be in the bowl, in the throne room.
Alright. Well, Joe, time for you to detect evil all around the throne room and every fucking, 100 feet out from it.
My eyes glow when I detect evil, because it's almost like my eyes would already be doing this when I make that Chris. Either way, you're right, Chris.
Any evil traps that they already set.
Well, you wouldn't detect any evil.
I would be looking, I suppose. So I guess I'll... Fuck it, I'll be taking a 20 on that. So...
Okay, what's up with you at?
What's that?
Chris was taking 20 on a perception.
Oh, 34.
Taking a 10, just...
Okay, and you're just kind of looking around the throne room for just anything out of place? Or
Anything
in
that...
particular?
Yeah, anything that looks like, this could be a thing that kills people.
Oh, good, we're on the same place. Well, let me throw my thing in there too so we can get all at once. I'm just kind of sensing the atmosphere, ignoring the people that are obviously like,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also pretty much looking for the same thing and trying to assess where if someone were to come in, where would be the best place to be or to do it? Should they be able to avoid the outside of the castle?
You should be the guy...
If someone were to be able to teleport in here like an asshole, where would they want their troops to end up? That kind of shit.
Strategy. I was gonna say, Joe, you should also be the guy at the front door who points at a guy and says, pat him down.
Stand there, arms crossed, detect evil is always to go in.
Yep. Everybody who even has the slightest evil aura. You're getting a pat down. If you have any fucking trinkets on you,
Alright.
you remove them.
Ignore token placements.
Okay.
That is what the throne room looks like.
Wow.
Swirling a bit.
Now,
There's no lights in the throne room. This is gonna be exciting.
Oh, I'm gonna put my mask on.
hold
then.
on. I don't know why your tokens don't have fun. They're
No,
sight.
I can see. I can see.
Oh, I found my token.
When did Mr. Oxford get here? How did he get away from the dragon?
He'll probably be attending.
Sheer
Whoa.
willpower.
You can see the scratch marks all the way. Hey, why is K's token there?
I said ignore token placements.
Okay.
Yeah, that was before when he was gonna attend.
It was even there.
I was already typing it, Joe.
I'm gonna boot myself down so I can see that.
God damn it. I always wonder when these tokens were made, because every health amount is always different.
Oh my god, I have 31 max health? Please no.
He made these a long time ago. They're gonna need more guards at the doors, absolutely.
And are there? And this is an entrance way as well, right?
Yes, those sorry. Those lead up to a balcony that encircles the room.
There's a balcony.
And there are doorways directly at the tops along here, here, and directly behind the throne.
Is there windows?
Too many windows.
There is a massive circular window directly on the ceiling for which light just pours into and fills the room.
Oh, an Oculus.
Yes.
Ooh, I should wait up there and bust down like Batman.
Can I do it?
Chris's first thoughts.
You gotta do it, Chris.
Chris called
You gotta
dibs.
do it, because if it was sunlight, it makes sense for me to do it, but with moonlight, it makes more sense for you to do it.
If I don't come down through it, Joe, you fly up out of it.
Okay, I can do that. I can do that. And I can throw my hammer. No. Oh yeah.
Throw your hammer up.
Fuck, I can fly now.
Going.
Alright.
Oh, you have this moment where there's a baddie up top and baddies down below. Chris dives through the glass and Joe flies up, and there's this moment where your paths just kind of intersect as you just pass each other.
It's gonna happen,
Yep.
Chris.
Yep. Slow motion.
High five in the way.
Anime as fuck.
Oh yeah, we just got the smiles like Meliodas and Vaughn.
Fucking hell. Anyway. Yep. As I said, ignoring token placements, that's what the throne room looks like.
Well, it definitely looks like you're surveying the place too, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Well, at some point I would make my way up to you, and I'd say, barring magic, this is probably the most easily defended place in the castle. Of course, barring magic brings.
Yep, Chris,
Oh.
during your initial perception, like
Mhm.
this would be about the time Joe would be coming over to you, you'd
Yep.
see it. You'd catch on the underside of the table there's a rune inscribed into the wood.
I'm gonna reel back and not look at it because I think it's, there's things where if you read them, I don't speak rune, but
I don't want to be dead.
yeah, I'd say whenever a Tarka or
Now that would be the best explosive rune placement. Underneath the table? There's no way that's an explosive rune. Who would read it?
It's like
But
there's
they
a
have
fucking
intelligent
servant.
mice.
There's a fucking
Intelligent mice.
no. There's a servant who's just sneaking some food off the table. Gets under the table to eat it and goes, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, right?
and there's like 3 corpses mangled and dismembered. It's like, all right, guys, who spiked the punch?
God damn it.
I tell you, Joe, whenever a Tarka or Rencha gets here, they need to check this table. And, I'd tell you that there's a rune underneath it.
You
And-
just point out the table.
Yep.
You're trying to be discreet about it, like, hey,
Yeah.
just have them. Don't bring attention to it.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'd tell you that, either kings of old or all kings are arrogant fucks. This place is just waiting to be... There's way too many spots for a king to be killed in here.
I'd look up, I'd look around. Why we're going to be here.
Yep. You guys would know also that this room hasn't been used since the time of Uther Pendragon. Arthur did not use this room at all.
That's why he's alive.
Once Tarka and Rensha get here, we'll place just as we are.
And I guess I would be checking everywhere else too. You know, the back of the throne, the rest of the tables.
Yep. You would find that each of the tables has a similar rune inscribed under it.
I bet it's rune of make the food last forever.
Or the rune of like constant purify food and drink.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not a real spell, but you know,
No, it is. That's a real spell.
a rune of it.
Oh, I mean, you can permanently...
Sure. Runes for
Anyway,
everyone.
You're checking around the throne room itself, and you said you were checking around the outside as well?
All of it.
Or
If it's touching the throne room, I think me and Chris are pretty much checking it out.
If it's on this map and it's somewhere I can go, like even the balcony area, it's getting checked.
Okay.
And somebody, one of our magic guys is gonna have to go over it with detect magic too.
Okay. Well, you wouldn't find anything else. But yeah, that's just with the mundane looking.
Yep. Mundane is what I know.
Yep. At one point during you guys checking down the room, Anthony Guilford would actually make his way in. He would exchange brief words with Tristan. And just given a look of him, he looks like he's aged about 5 years.
It happens.
Who we talking
Last
about?
you saw him.
Old man or young man?
Yeah.
Marth.
Ah, cousin Marth.
And he'd give you guys a nod after making words at Tristan and turning to depart, unless anyone would stop him to make words or anything.
I would stop him.
As he
during your-
whoops in.
Yep.
It's like, Christian,
Well,
stop. Good job.
You would be able to. You would be have time to teleport back to Camelot by this point and make your way to the castle.
I would run in, find Joe, and say, "It's not just us. I hit London too. All the shops have burned down. Anyone with magic is either presumably dead or evacuated."
Just so you know, Morgana and the boy, they did not go with you into they were in there with the throne room, but she wandered off after a while, and the boy
Oh.
followed her.
Well, I gotta go find Morgan now.
Well, I would say to you, Stefanos. Tristan plans on going to this.
Look around.
What?
I'd say I'd look around and say, "I assume you've checked everything."
It's a little bit normalized. I've not over the table, like Chris pointed out. So there's something you and I should check out.
Identify minimum spellcraft of 32 or 31.
Okay.
You don't know where it is.
Hey, I didn't actually roll. That's just the minimum.
Yep. Well, you'd be able to tell that the runes under the tables are designed to keep the food fresh for the duration of it being within proximity.
Okay, I'd say it's nothing to worry about. It just keeps the food fresh. Merlin probably put it there. Anything else?
Other than that, we looked. It's in mundane stuff. Just have a look around, see what you come up with.
Yeah, I'd motion for Batarka to follow me because I don't want to be alone.
Yep, he would do as such.
And identify throughout the place.
Oh, right, because it's a cantrip.
Yep. I don't even have detect magic prepared. I have detect magic plus 10.
Yep. Well, you would and around the whole throne room, or like where exactly are you?
I would do the throne room first, wherever the coronation will happen directly.
Okay.
Tarka would have detect magic on, just so he can point things out, because he would be able to note that you're not casting actual detect magic, you're casting identify. I do believe you have to look at an item while you're casting that, right?
No?
That doesn't matter, he's helping.
It's a detect magic with a plus 10 spellcraft.
There you go.
Okay. Well, you would you would both notice in the entryway out here, there would be a okay, hold on. This entire entryway here has and it lights up in the, detect magic aura, a massive runic circle, about 25 feet in diameter.
I will take a 10. It's 41.
Okay. This is the exit rune for a translocation circle.
Like people can just appear here.
Yep.
People- Ooh.
I swear there's something that I read like today that you can tell who cast that spell. Like an aura of the original caster.
If you're familiar with their aura?
Well, like you can tell an aura of what, like a unique aura of this caster, and you could identify that if you saw them again. But since I've seen at least Evil Bitch.
Yeah, you could determine if it is hers. If it's not hers, it's probably Merlin's.
Yeah.
Or one of her lackeys.
I don't know what. I don't remember what that fucking check was. I saw something about it, but I can't remember.
No.
I look to her dark and say, should we get rid of it? We should probably get rid of it.
Say,
Oh, could ask Tristram.
that's what I was gonna say. I'm just thinking if you have words other than West Tristan first. Say, I mean, Merlin was here. Maybe we should ask one of the knights first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to Tristram.
I will follow.
Well, he would he'd turn to you guys as you approach. Say something the matter.
Did Merlin ever cast it or teleport himself or others right there, right at the entrance?
I'm sure he might have. I'm not privy to everything Merlin did and did not do in this castle, I'm afraid.
I look to Atarik and say, we should go get rid of that.
I'd not. I'd say there's location.
Gawain is older. He might know.
Yeah. None of us are thinking about that though, except you, Chris.
I figure it's better to make sure that Merlin can show up and save the day.
I mean,
Sooner.
You can always show up. Like, if he's just teleporting himself, he can fucking be there.
I didn't read the big old book of magic rules.
But this is for like, oh yeah, teleport a whole bunch of people at once. So it's probably
You know
not.
what we do? You know what we do, Stefanos? We put it on Tristram. Should we get rid of it then? Better safe than sorry, right?
I mean, you could say that. I just don't want to be fucking murked
Yeah.
again. Oh, okay, there you go.
I think half of our party's gonna die from this.
Okay, so you're going over to get rid of it?
I'm asking Tristram
Oh.
what he thinks about it. Does he think we should get rid of it as caution?
He'd kind of he'd look between the two of you and he would say that
I'd just be nodding. Like, yes.
he'd say I would defer to your judgment in this matter. I'm not nearly privy enough in the arcane arts to even begin to say.
Getting rid of it. Let's go.
Yeah, basically begin to say what you could fuck with and what you couldn't. If you believe it's a danger, then get rid of it.
I would say, I don't like it. We're getting rid of it. Let's go.
See who rides cohort. Go.
Okay, so you guys would make your way over to the translocation rune. you did. Anyway,
Do you want to try it, Joe?
Yep, I'm just making sure that. Just your caster level?
Yeah. I don't want to spend spells if I can avoid it.
Say you are better than me. But I'll go first. Chang.
Okay. The rune would crackle and fizz with arcane energies, but remain intact.
My turn.
My first companion.
Not even close.
Rune would remain untouched by your attempt.
And the guards are just like, what the fuck are they doing?
Look to you. Well, 2 gold says I get it. Says I get it before you.
You're on.
Clearly not this time.
We're just burning all our spells away, Joe.
We are so fucking annoying.
Yeah, we are.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on, excuse me.
I really hope nothing happens today.
Granted, Granted, Artarka's good spells are pretty much all 2nd level, so we're good there.
I hope I get a haste.
Nate?
The runic circle would crackle fiercely as arcane energies actually become visible to the naked eye. The energies would arc all around you, causing the hairs to stand up on your neck, the back of your head, and your arms. But the rune would rebound back into place.
Oh, that was close. I'm not out yet, though.
Yeah, Nate's echoey thing, it's pretty
I
great.
know, it's great. It's like...
You fucking dog! Alright, Tark gonna...
I'm gonna do it. If you don't do it next time, I'm just gonna fucking natural 20 it.
He's just like, I think I can, but last one was a lot.
No. Oh, hold on. You forget this.
Couldn't you just insight crown?
Can I what?
Use your crown?
Use my Cyclops helm? Yeah, I'm gonna this time.
Awesome. Oh, you're gonna get 2 gold from a cohort, though.
Goddamn right I am.
He's not a person, he doesn't need money.
It's like, okay, one last try.
One last try, rolling 20 plus 10.
Okay. The power sizzles and crackles as the rune becomes visible. The energies ricocheting and bouncing off each of the walls in this space. The air itself thrums with energy and it begins to vibrate, becoming warm, as if next to an open flame. As the rune shifts, ripples, and crackles, it blasts outward against the walls and dissipates in a bluish haze. Rune is
That's
gone.
That's 2 gold.
I would have just been watching.
You would
the
have
spectacle.
seen that from the balcony, by the way, Chris, because that
is-
the whole rune and all of it became visible to the naked eye.
I like to think
No,
I was
Arthur
standing.
looking over like, what the fuck?
I like to think I was standing next to Joe with my arms folded, and when they finally finish and the Tarka gives Stefanos 2 gold, I just say fucking magic.
I'd like to think that all the guards are like, what the fuck is happening? They just see the cat. That's 2 gold.
The guards do have their hands on their weapons as they're looking around, like it's like.
Is it
fucking
starting?
ready for
Is it
something.
starting?
Tark is just gonna look around and say, no problems. We're good. We asked the king for permission.
Soon to be.
Yeah.
Soon to be.
The servants who are trying to make their way into the into this area holding various cleaning tools kind of give you two a wide berth as they keep glancing at the floor like they're afraid it's going to flare up again. they make their way into the throne room with their cleaning implements.
He just looked down at you, Stefanos. We weren't targets before, we certainly are now.
I was the first target that I know of.
Yeah, but
So, yeah.
soon.
Wait, what about the person who attacked me? Is she still in the dungeon? I wonder if they got any information out of her. I'd go up to, are any of the knights specifically dealing with the dungeon? Or is that just whoever?
Maybe Harris is.
Gaheris would oversees the pretty much the enforcing of the various laws, which includes the dungeons and various stockades throughout the city. But he doesn't really he has more of a managerial role. One of the captains is probably one of the ones who directly oversee and then report anything that happens to him.
Are any of the captains here?
No.
Well, I imagine if she said something, Stefanos, that is important enough to relay to Gaheris. And if not, he'll defer us to that guy.
Yeah, I would go ask Harris if the person who attacked, they ever got anything out of the person who attacked me.
You would have to find Gaheris elsewhere, as he's not in the throne room.
I would go ask someone where Harris is.
Yep.
Oh,
He would be in the round table room.
that's right. I accidentally put myself back in the throne room. I'm off looking for Morgana.
Yep.
I will go back to the round table room.
With, you and Tarkus, Stefanos, since I was still doing throne room stuff.
You're coming or you're not coming?
Coming with you guys, because you did magic stuff.
Okay.
Big stuff.
I would say there was a big ore at the front. We got rid of it, but it was strong.
I just asked. You think it was Merlin's doing?
Maybe, but he probably wouldn't have needed it. I mean, if he just wanted to teleport in himself, he doesn't need a circle to do it.
I just nod because that makes sense. You're talking to magic. You're talking magic. I hit things with a hammer. Can't wait till I hit something to smite with a hammer.
Boom shakalaka.
Thank you, Nate.
Of your sins
Anyway.
heavily upon your soul. When do I get penance stare?
Anyway, fuck you, just because I love Ghost Rider. Anyway, as the shit. Okay, you guys would hit the dungeon before Chris would find Ghana.
No, we're hitting the round table room.
Oh, the round table room. Okay, then Chris would find Chris. If you would have asked any of the servants, you see this, these people walking by, anything, you'd be directed to the corridor where Merlin's tower is.
Give me one moment.
Zach, you were still at the settlement, correct?
I think Zach came
Oh,
with him.
pup things. Okay.
I'm pretty sure Zach. He's on this safe balcony, so he's here. Maybe?
Oh, okay. Okay,
I
gotcha.
assume at least.
Okay, I thought he said something about being at the settlement and coming later, but I could
Maybe
be could be mistaken.
Maybe I am too. I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready, Chris. Actually, I'm gonna piss while we're waiting on everybody. Back.
Okay. I was putting in an order for some quesadillas.
Chris, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll be back.
So,
Yes.
So Joe, I cannot start making those braces until we can sell stuff.
We're not. How long would those braces take to make?
4 days.
I don't think Joe's getting those braces till he's out of basic.
No,
Yep.
but
Made a main sewer. Already's dead.
I still don't have the money for it.
I was hoping that we could get the campaign to a point where like it at minimum a year of downtime could be available to us in between Joe's and potentially Nate's military time. That way we could justify a large time gap in the players and the characters. But
I don't know. There's so much shit going on. I don't think that's realistic.
yeah, when Nate brought up Arthur being in the Fae,
Well,
that
we
was...
got Arthur. We've got this mage wiping out. We've got Mordred. We've got Kay, and we've got me wanting to go to the castle up north.
Those last four things are all the same.
No, they're not.
Yes.
No, they're not.
Who is that lady?
The one who attacked us.
Yeah, who is that lady? Do you know who she
I don't
is?
remember her name.
Okay, that's probably Mordred's mom, right?
No, that wasn't Mordred's mom.
It's
we
not.
talked about this
What?
like 3 times.
How many times
3.
was I here?
Yes.
Did I care?
You never care.
Okay, I think all four of those things are the same thing. Kay and Mordred are definitely the same thing, and so are the mage wiping out.
That mage bitch who haunted us sounds like she's got a hold of Kay right now, so that's kind of where I'm saying.
Yeah,
If she does,
it all...
Mordred could be a separate thing. The
Yeah.
King Arthur in the other realm is probably a separate thing. Coronation is probably a separate thing, which will turn into one of them. And me going up north to that one castle has not been mentioned at all anywhere else, so that's probably separate.
Yeah. I think anything related to this coronation and Mordred is all one thing, and Arthur is the other thing. So there's only 2 things for me.
Well, there's 3 for me.
But yeah, when he brought up the Arthur thing, yeah. There's not going to be any extended time gap. Ugh.
Sit on hold for right now.
Huh?
It's in the bathroom, so come back in an hour.
I could probably go get a shower. Oh, I'm bored. Okay, now I feel better.
Hey, Joe,
What?
that Cyclops helmet is the best item I've ever made.
Mm-hmm. I think everyone needs one.
I think I need like 6.
So Joe,
Yeah, sure.
you're not a stupid, so you know what Unreal Tournament is.
Yeah.
Did the game that came before that, was that just called Unreal?
I think it's always been an Unreal Tournament.
I think so too.
Okay, there's a game on Steam called Unreal, and I just love the picture of this dude. And he just looks like the biggest chin motherfucking lizard folk I've ever seen. He looks so goddamn doofy, I love him.
Wasn't there also an Unreal Championship?
Yeah.
Yep. That was in third person. Fucking awesome.
Anyway, I've returned.
Yep.
Zach,
Yeah,
were you with the group or were you still at the settlement?
I was with the group. I was
Yeah,
on the balcony.
Yep, I saw that. I thought I heard before that you were gonna stay or join them later or something. Anyway, it's been clarified now. Okay, Chris,
Yes.
you would find Morgana, Ilya, and the boy in the wing where Merlin's tower, where Merlin's tower resides. As she would be basically sitting with the staff over her lap, meditatively, and Ilya would be kind of watching over her as with the boy. So his gaze would turn to you as you approach.
I'd basically just go over to him and kind of lean against the wall and tell him, one of you should have told us where you would be.
He'd nod, but he'd say that Morgana said something about needing a quiet place, and she just started walking, so we followed.
Yep. And I
Figured,
just...
not let anyone be by themselves. You would see that his hand does not leave his sword hilt at any point. It's relaxed a bit since you arrived, but
I should give him my human brain greatsword, but he's got a really cool shield, so nah.
His sword's really good too, by the way. So.
It's because
his sword is-
they're good Christians, Stefanos. That's why they didn't get attacked. Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't go after the guy who can resurrect people. Like they could.
That'd be a mission to have.
She just killed Stefanos, so I honestly think they're probably gonna focus on Joe now, because now that lady at least has confirmed that somebody can resurrect people, and all rumors are centered around him about that. But anyways, yeah, I'm just watching and listening.
okay. Stefanos, Zach, and Joe,
Yes.
you guys would reach the round table room.
Doing it.
Inside, you would see Elian, Gawain, and Gaheris, as well as
Guy.
the Lord. Lord Guilford.
Lord man.
What are they speaking about? Or they just stopped talking?
They would have appeared to have finished up a conversation when you guys arrive and are shown in.
Alright, I would ask, did you ever get anything out of that, person who attacked me?
The, Gaheris would actually kind of look down for a moment. Elian would kind of look at the others like,
I bet she killed herself. Anyway, go on.
We interrogated her the first for about 12 hours on the first night, and she simply repeated that she is bound for paradise. It is all she knows and all she will ever know.
So, religious nut jobs.
And the next morning, when we went to continue the interrogation, we found that she had bit through her tongue.
That sounds like
Why'd you leave her alone? You're so bad at this.
We don't know how. We had her gagged, but she somehow got the gag out, and we asked the interrogator why she was left unattended for so long, or long enough for her to manage it, and he claims he only took his eyes off her for about 30 seconds, and she seemed well enough for the duration of his watch.
Well, they've attacked more than just me. They attacked, fuck, what's her name? What's your cohort's, not cohort name, Chris?
Ilya?
Ilya?
They attacked Ilya at our settlement, killed 2 of my students, and all of the shops that had anything to do with magic in London are burned to the ground or boarded up.
Gawain would nod and say, well, London, he'd say the events in London had a little bit to do, at least, with the Duke himself. Seems before, or it seems in the week prior to the martial law ending, he had most of the magic apparel in the city seized and taken to his manor.
Nigga, you dumb.
But I assume he didn't burn the shops to the ground?
Do you want wizard riots? That's how you get wizard riots.
He'd shake his head and he'd say, we'd heard nothing of the shops being burnt down, just that the items had been seized.
I guess we'll keep an eye out to see or to make sure they don't come in here during the coronation.
Are you referring to the Duke, or?
No, the stabby stabbers. The assassins.
He would nod. He said, we've made several preparations of our own, increased watches, and gathered up several of our outlying garrisons over the next week. If Mordred tries anything, we will have close to 100,000 troops just beyond the city walls, ready to react in whatever way they need to.
I'm not going to mention that there was already a location inside the walls that they missed. Oh well.
Yeah, should we be going around the whole castle now looking for shit like
I don't know how many dispels left, but yeah, why not?
Well, we can find them and mark them.
That's true.
Let people know.
I nod, and I guess I'll go to walk out, because you have something, Joe? Or Joe?
Yep, I got nothing. We just give them all a nod and depart.
Okay. They would tell you that the coronation ceremony is going to start at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And they'd say, and then they'd say your knighting is to begin at 10:30. So they'd say we've scheduled it to be one of the first things after Tristan's after the crown is upon his head and he is declared officially the king.
I just nod.
Yep. That's how it'll be then.
And with that, you guys would be left to do your things.
Did we go around the entire courtroom area? Or throne room area?
No,
Yes.
Hope so.
Okay, I guess we'll just scour the halls then, Joe.
I'll stick with you, and that'll be that. It'll be a good night. A lot of magic to be found.
Scour the halls and detect in magic.
And then we have to keep watch.
Okay. Well, what would you be doing at that point, Chris?
Well, I guess you guys are just gonna be standing around with Keep Watch.
Pretty much. Stefanos doesn't look around the castle all night. I'll be keeping watch and just going around the castle all night.
You're just gonna
No, I'd
sit
ask
there
you
in the
to
throne room
do
and
that.
watch, just look at the throne.
Yeah, I
For
am not
hours.
sleeping right now when there's people trying to kill me.
Stefanos.
It's a bad
Just
idea.
to fucking sit on the throne.
What'd you say,
I
Zach?
feel like, why would anyone want to sit here?
I have a key.
You may.
Oh god.
Control the balcony.
Everyone may have a keep watch that desires. Everyone. Do the service want to keep watch, Nate? They have it. I'm not offering though, unless they ask.
Well, I don't
Anyway.
really understand it, so whenever I'm sure that Morgana's gonna be, with you guys, I'd turn in I'd turn in early.
Yeah, she would only be meditating for about an hour or two, and then she would she'd see to meeting back up with the group.
I would offer Ilya a keep watch too.
Whoa, she didn't ask.
Okay, that's fine. I will offer Ilya a keep watch too and say you probably shouldn't sleep when they're after us. You're staying awake when they're after us is probably a good idea.
She'd probably make a wry comment about, never sleeping again then. And she would accept the keep watch. And if you guys went around the castle doing the detect magic thing, you would find about 10 more of those locations.
Translocation auras?
Yep.
So I don't even have 10 casts left.
I don't either. I have one. And I want to save in case we get to fight in the middle of the night. So, when you guys find them, I'll just make notes of them, and when we meet up with the guards. Relay. There's aura of magic here that could teleport something, and we're not sure if it's for ill or otherwise. But it should be noted and kept under watch.
They would nod and thank you for informing them, and they would say that watch will be, or that soldiers will be stationed at these locations.
Fuck it, I'll cast 3 more, then I'm done. 1, 2, 3. I'm done. God fucking damn it.
They didn't count on us being PC that decide our characters don't want to go to the beautiful world of sleep.
Jesus Christ, come on.
Anyway,
You could just spell it first.
Chris, you depart for work in what?
40 minutes. I have to shower.
Okay. Well, then we will pick up with the morning of the next day.
My character
Morning
will
of the
be
coronation.
definitely sleeping. I guess I would ask for somewhere in the castle if I could stay there.
Yep. They would show you to various quarters that have been arranged for guests and the like. They would essentially they would ask your name and whose party you're essentially with, like if you're the vassal of a lord or something like that, or if you are a lord yourself.
Am I a lord myself, Nate?
Yeah.
You're a knight, but you're not like titled with lands or anything.
I gotta have land. I gotta buy like a 5-foot square of land and say I am a lord. I own land to the east.
It is a great land, prosperous for its size. You have a single like hop of corn in it.
2 flowers. Bountiful. Yeah, I just tell them Knight of France on hire to Camelot. Sort of. With Beldroth party.
They would nod, and they would show you to a set of chambers. Chambers are very nice, probably intended for a baronet or other equivalently ranked noble.
That's how I feel,
Do you,
TJ.
do you need me to repeat what I said?
No, I did that.
Okay.
I'm the only one doing it.
Well, I didn't know if maybe his phone buzzed or
Oh,
something.
that Shannon sent me a text. She's having a pretty crappy day, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was timed.
But yeah, okay, next session we will pick up with the morning of the coronation.
Alright. Oh, I do plan on being up before the sun is up, so.
Yep.
Me too. Oh, wait.
It is impossible for me to do anything tomorrow. I don't know if you guys were thinking extra sessions or some shit.
I got stuff tomorrow, and
There you go.
Thursday I don't get back until 8 o'clock.
I feel like
And I
some
won't even be home until near 9:30ish.
cool. I'm pretty much completely busy these next 3 days, so there we go. Let's find out how much money Stefanos won't get for a year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nate. I guess now that we're done, so what was the 3-a-day apply poison and obscurity and not steal of many garments?
I know I have one of
Well,
those
that's not-
rings. So,
Yeah, I already wrote that down.
okay. Doop-a-doop-boop-boop.